Welcome back to the Empowered Woman, Badass, and Unfiltered podcast. Your host, Olivia, here. And today I'm talking about what I'm like the things I'm saying and the things that I'm doing to get me through my absolute toughest days. Because listen, I'm going to just give you like a little peek into my life. So I originally was going to talk about um love and I had talking points written up and everything, all talking about love. And I'm like, I'm just not in that space. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not in that space. Because like I've got 1,000,010 things going on and it's just like so much. And I'm like, I don't even feel that in that energy. So, but I much rather share with you what I'm doing to win these crazy days. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The first thing that and I'm going to go to these statements first and then actions. First thing is everything is temporary. I continuously tell myself this whenever I start to get annoyed with something that happens somewhere. I'm like, you know what? Everything's temporary. Everything is temporary. Like, I'm not about to stress this. And this is not about to steal my joy, get me off track. None of that. None of that, because it's temporary. Now, the permanent stuff, and to me, like death, murder, those things are permanent. So I will definitely allow myself to feel my feelings that I have that rise up in the moment. And whenever they rise up in those moments, I will address them. But um, I can't stay there. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't stay there. I also, my view on death is just different than people's. So there's that. The next thing is what is supposed to happen is going to happen. I've adopted this because it takes away a lot of worry. Like I absolutely believe that God has amazing things planned for me. So what is going to happen is going to happen, especially, and this is preface it with doing the work. If you know that you're doing all of the steps to lead to success, if you are taking the walks to lose weight, if you're changing your diet, if you're doing those types of things, it's going to happen. Like what's supposed to happen is going to happen. It's going to happen, which leads me into the next one, that God has amazing things planned for you. And that's what's going to happen. So that rest assured and that faith, especially for me, like there's plenty of times I'm like, God has amazing things planned for me. That's what, and I truly believe that. So it also doesn't limit me when it comes to taking chances, because I know I have to do what I have to do in order for the right things to happen, right? And the right things. So for me, if I want to do a speaking engagement, I've got to apply to do that. So if I'm doing that work and God has amazing things planned for me, then what's going to happen is supposed to happen. And you miss every opportunity that you don't shoot your shots for. So yes, the next one is I'm exactly where I need to be in the present moment. I am exactly where I need to be. This right here is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going along the path of what I'm doing and reminding myself this and seeing the synchronicities in life that reminds me that I am exactly where I'm supposed to be in the present moment in time. What I am seeking is seeking me. And I am after all that God has for me in this world. That is just what it is. I am after that. And I know that he is willing and able and will give that to me, and I'm not saying this from like some selfish vein, because I get into that in the next one, but I want to like, if you're listening to this and you're like, because I understand like the prosperity gospel, all that, it's your heart posture matters. You know what I'm saying? No, wish no ill will on anybody. And I'm going to get into the things that I'm doing to go along with this, but this is not like I'm just manifesting this amazing life and not doing anything, and it's my will and not God's will. No. That's not what I'm saying. Just gonna throw that out there. Anyway, it's okay. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to be wrong. You're human and you're learning. So these instances come up relatively separately, but they're the same thing. It's okay. Like if I have a bad day coming, then you know what? It's okay to have a bad day. It don't mean the next one's going to be, And honestly, when I count my wins, what I consider wins in a day versus my losses, I'm winning. Like it's good. It's all good. Plus, I mean, the Apollo like was off track like 96% of the time, like an insane number. And it still landed on the moon. because in life it's just all about course correction. So seriously, like it's okay. And that just gives me like lets me have less anxiety because I hate taking tests. And I'm currently taking a course for the Florida State Insurance licensing exam. And I'm like overwhelmed along with like managing the restaurant, having a 5-month-old planning to go out of town at the end of the month. It's just like insane. And it's just like if I mess up and make mistakes, I'm so critical of myself and I'm trying not to be that way. So that's why I got to say that. The next one is the energy you operate out of matters. This is what I'm talking about. Like I'm talking about coming from a heart posture. Like when I say energy, I really mean how you're positioned. If you are operating your life out of peace, prosperity, growth, abundance, all of that. If you're doing that, that's a whole different field than lack, scarcity, um, jealousy, judgment. Another one. Leave the judging to Jesus. Leave the judging. I continuously tell myself that because I catch myself. I'm like, leave the judging to Jesus. Leave it. Just leave it. The next one, y'all getting some good ones. Let me know, like, if any of these are hidden for you. Like, send me a message and email olivia@oliviatmcook.com. It's up to you. Last one is you can do hard things. And I'm always saying that. Like, I say that more so to other people to like encourage them, but me saying it helps it really be ingrained in my mind that I can do hard things. Like, yeah, it might be hard, but I can do hard things, you know? Now I'm getting into the actions. I am constantly praying over people. Like I'm praying for good things to happen in people's lives, not out of selfish vain, but because I want the best for other people. I want the best for society and not out of, for me, I want everybody to live out their lives knowing what I know, knowing that there's room for all of us to be amazing individuals when their people are better, when they're happier, when they're operating out of grace, the world becomes a better place. And I understand I don't expect it to, but I'm not going to contribute to the bad part. Like I'm not about that life. So definitely praying over people, which is a second one, praying over my enemies. I will pray over my enemies. I do pray over my enemies because they do not deserve me to, they don't deserve me losing out on my success. Like I'm gonna just be honest with you. Why give away your personal power to somebody that does not want to benefit you? You got some people that come up against you for real. You got people that completely disagree with you, but that doesn't mean that they don't need healing. So that's something that I automatically opt to, that I genuinely mean, because I do pray for everybody's healing, because regardless if I get along with them or not, I'm real picky. Like I know I'm not for everybody, and I know everybody is not for me. So with that being said, like I'm very clear on what I don't like. And this world is so crazy. I don't like negative people either. So I pray for their peace. I pray for them to have calmness in their lives, because most of the times they're acting out because they're miserable. That's why. So I definitely pray over them. I ask for forgiveness continuously. Whenever I am out of alignment, whenever I do something that is out of the character that I want to uphold, whenever, like, I don't apologize for being human, but I apologize for hurting people and being immature. Because when I argue, I'm real immature. Like you would forget. It's like I forget half my emotional intelligence. And this is the thing. I realize this as a 30-year-old adult. I know that I know grown people that do not act right. And I'm not trying to compare. I'm just saying most people do not argue with the same mind that when they're really in a heated argument, that they do when things are going right in their lives. So I'm just going to put that out there. So whenever you're tired, hungry, hangry, all of that, yeah, that one right there. Ask for forgiveness. And then I also forgive people too, because I can't hold on to the resentment. I cannot, like I can't. The energy matter, you operate out of matters, right? So I can't operate out of the survival mentality. I also can't out of the scarcity, out of the judgmental, out of any of those negative. And it's hard for me to like fully explain what I mean in this time, but I think you get what I'm saying. The next one is I let God speak for me. And this is me releasing control. This is me letting certain situations go and kind of like observing them really. And then amazing things happen. It's crazy. Like I've been doing this with like angry guests and stuff like that. And oh my God, they just turn around so fast. Like, thank you, God. Thank you. Anyway, with all that being said, I've got 1,010 things off my to-do list, which are getting knocked off. So I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go. Continue crushing life, continue going after everything that you want in this world. Because I know that if you listen to this, then that's what you're doing. And go out and be a badass. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Empowered Woman, Badass and Unfiltered podcast. If you found any value in this, please consider sharing and subscribing. Now go out and be a badass.